Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The movie begins with an illegal chemical that makes you hallucinate. It is gonna make you think that you can fly because of course, you have wings. We see a group of people on top of a building who have taken that, and they now are happy and of course, going from the world of reality, they jump off the building happily. Elsewhere, Max is in his cell, working out, a prison guard approaches and tells him that his father is there to see him. The man is happy to learn that and quickly goes to the meeting room to see him. His father has not forgotten his birthday and he gives him a birthday present in the form of a book and a photo of his son Theo. He however tells him he does not know the boy's whereabouts as he has not been home for a while and there is no contact between them either. Later that day, Max sits with his eyes closed as he recalls the beautiful moments he spent with his wife and son. As he recalls, some other prisoners attack him, but he manages to beat them up. The scene changes to two boys named Theo and Charlie. They happen to be hackers and they have been keeping an eye on the work of some scientists. They don't just do that, they hack into many illegal facilities and commit online fraud as well, so the police are now aware of what they have been up to. They end up getting arrested, but they are released the next morning. The news comes on TV that their boss named Lavocat is still in police custody, but Theo and Charlie get released as they are still young. However, they are going to have special supervision from now on. Theo's grandfather Meg goes to the police station to take Theo. As he brings the boy home, he gives him a piece of his mind, but the boy does not really seem to care what his grandfather says. He further adds that he did not do anything that bad, at least not as bad as what his father did, in prison for years. He then goes to his room and sneaks out the window to the place where they do their shenanigans. The prison guard approaches Max yet again, and he is taken to see someone. He goes to the waiting room, and it turns out to be a woman. This woman is a superior police officer, and she shows him the photo of Lavocat. Max knows who this man is. It turns out that this is the same man who sold dangerous hearts to his wife, and she died after the surgery. She then shows him a green liquid. This is what we call nitro rush. The police officer tells him that if he takes this chemical, he is gonna start feeling like he has wings. The officer tells Max that this chemical is being spread in the city. They still don't know who is the main distributor, but they have one name, and that name is Lavocat. They think that this man is definitely involved in this. She adds that they have been trying to look for the man who has made this chemical in the first place, but they have had no luck so far, and Lavocat has been in prison. However, the man refuses to spill anything of use. The officer tells Max that they are going to need his help solving this case. Max tells her that he has no interest in this, and this is when she plays her card. She shows him a picture of Theo getting arrested, and she adds that his son has joined Lavocat. Max is someone who could do anything when it comes to family, so he agrees to help right away. Max also gets to learn that Lavocat is in the same prison as he is. He is angry at the man for involving his teenage son in this sick business. He right away makes his way into the hallway to look for Lavocat, and he finds him. Lavocat tries to fight back but to no avail. Max tortures him and another man with him. He then tells him that if ever tried going near his son again, he is a dead man. This is when a prison guard gets there, but Max takes him hostage in order to be able to escape the prison. Max finally lets go of him, and as many officers try to chase him, he jumps off the roof of the building and tries to buy him some time. He then comes across a policeman who comes out of his van and points his gun at him, but Max snatches away his gun. He takes the car from the police officer and makes his way to his father's house to see his son. When he gets home, he and his father look for Theo, but he is nowhere to be found. The next day, they again make their way out to look for the boy. As Max is out looking for his son, a black car pulls up, a woman along with Theo and his friend comes out of the car, and they enter a building, but when Max tries to do the same, a man comes out who is well aware who Max is. This man's name is Koloss. He tells Max that he knows the police are looking for him, and if he enters the building, that means the police enter the building, so he cannot allow him. Max, having no other choice, sneaks inside the building through the back way. However, as he climbs the wall, he comes across a woman named Daphne. They talk, and Max tells her that he is Theo's father. She however says that he should not see him right now. Max is not there to take orders from the woman, so he forces his way inside, and there he sees Theo. The boy yells at him because he thinks that Max is because of whom his mother died. He yells at his dad, asking him to get out of there. Max again talks to Daphne, and she gives him a proposition. She says that if he is willing to join them, she can make Theo look at him as his father. They then go to Daphne's house because Theo has been living there lately. Back there, Charlie gives Theo a pep talk, saying he should make up with his father as the man just broke out of prison to see him. Daphne then tells Theo to make up with his father as he is sacrificing a lot for him. She also kisses Theo. They then get to work as Theo and Charlie say there are two scientists trying to get the Nitro Rush concoction. They have saved all the information on a flash drive. The boys tell them that the lab is in the forest and it is not easy to get in there as the alarm set by the two scientists will go off the moment anyone goes near the building. Max says that he is going to enter the building without touching the ground around it. He goes on a drive with his son and tells him to be careful about Daphne as she is not sincere with him. He adds that she is just using him. They also talk about the mission and their past. It turns out that Colossus has been recording the whole conversation and he sends it to Lavocat, who tells him to keep an eye on both father and son. That night, Daphne comes to Max and tries to seduce him into sleeping with her, but he does not reciprocate her advances as he knows his son has feelings for her. Theo is also seeing the whole thing from the camera installed. He is disappointed as the woman of his dream is not interested in him, but his dad. The next day, Theo, Max and Daphne make their way to the lab. At that time, two scientists named Chemistic and Resin come out of the lab. Max in the meantime uses a flying fox and enters the lab. When they have all entered the lab, Theo transfers all the data from the flash drive to his phone. Colossus, high on Nitro Rush, goes to hit the lab with his car out of nowhere. Charlie, however, tells the team inside the lab about Colossus and they manage to escape just in time. But the bad news for them is that the scientists are now aware that someone has been inside the lab. They make their way to the lab, and on the way, just outside the lab when the group is just about to leave, they have them at gunpoint. They start shooting at them as Max drives on. Max manages to lose them and comes to his dad's house. Theo dropped his phone when he was there, and the scientists now have the phone. Colossus calls Lavocat and informs him that the Nitro Rush concoction is stolen. Colossus puts a gun on Daphne's head and asks her to give him the concoction. When she refuses to do that, they threaten to put down Theo. It turns out that Daphne could not give him the password, even if she wanted, as Theo has already changed it. Lavocat then orders Colossus to kill her, as she is of no use to them anymore. Daphne is shocked at this, but she is unable to do anything about it, as she knows she actually is useless to them now, and on top of that, Colossus has her at gunpoint. Just as she is about to be shot dead, the two scientists get there by tracking them using Theo's phone, and they start shooting at them. Max hits them as well, gets out of his house, and fights both of them. They get an upper hand on him, and Max starts getting beaten up by the two scientists who want their data back. This is when Daphne comes to help Max. Max then makes quick work of the other one. He keeps beating the man until he is sure that he is not gonna fight back. Daphne is about to shoot the one fighting her. Max, however, tells her not to kill him, and she just shoots him in the leg. Daphne herself faints, as she has been both mentally and physically under stress for a long time. The police show up and take her to the hospital while all the others are arrested. This is when Max tells his son the truth, that everything that has been going on lately is something that was planned in the prison. He tells Theo that he came out to save him from the wrong path and to save many people who could die or kill others using this chemical. He tells his son to give the flash drive to the police, but Theo reveals that he actually never copy-pasted the concoction, he just deleted it. It turns out that the Nitro Rush concoction is now gone. Max then makes his way back to the prison, and the officer comes to see him yet again. She tells him that his family's identity is now out there and orders him to take care of them. The end.